Yo, this is Big Vito, the biggest paisan in Staten Island, former WCW hardcore champion. Let me tell you something, paisans. You're listening to interactive radio, and it's coming to you, and you better not touch that dial. You get it, or your thumbs will be broken.
Interactive Wrestling.
Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of the Interactive Interview on the interactiveinterview.com. I'm James Walsh, joined as always by Daniel Edler with our special guest, Big Vito. Vito, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going out there? Where are you guys from anyway?
I'm from, originally from New Jersey actually.
Well, where are you guys now?
I'm in Arizona, my partner's in England.
Arizona and England?
Yeah.
It's definitely not Little Italy, I'll tell you that much. Are you guys Italian?
No.
You're not Italian. What about your partner? Is he Italian?
English.
You're English?
Yeah.
But I speak Italian, so how can we do this interview, fellas? Well, go ahead anyway. Go ahead. You guys will be the boot of all my jokes today.
Were you a wrestling fan growing up?
What are you guys laughing about? You're supposed to be professionals.
Were you a wrestling fan growing up?
Guys, come on. Listen, if you guys don't have championship cannolis, and you don't have espresso, how are you guys supposed to do this interview? Come on. Get the laughter out, put the smiles away, and let's get serious, all right?
Were you a wrestling fan growing up?
Of course I was a wrestling fan growing up. You know, I tell you, guys like Bruno, who represented the Italians. You got Hulk Hogan, and who gave him his big break? Rocky Balboa, and what was he? Italian. Okay? There's a lot of Italian heritage in here, and me being a former world champion, and of course, what am I? Italian. So, I mean, this is an Italian industry, you know what I'm saying?
Who helped train you?
What?
Who helped to train you?
Well, I was trained by a couple of guys from Docks, Joey Knuckles and Tony the Thumbs. And then I went to Johnny Rod's school, because it got better than, getting arrested all the time for beating people up. So I went to the unpredictable Johnny Rod school down there in Brooklyn. And, I did pretty good down there, knocked a couple of heads in, and then they said, okay, you're trained. So then I went out and I went to Japan, I did San Domingo, went down to USWA in Memphis, I went to Puerto Rico, made a few stops along the way, gained a reputation, and here I am now.
You wrestled in the ECW with Skull, and who came up with that angle?
Well, I went down to the ECW, and me and Taz broke in at the same school. I knew Taz for a long time. And I basically went there with my bag and said, Taz, I'd like to get a job. So Taz talked to Paul Heyman at the time. And, I came with a bad guy reputation. And I had a big chip on my shoulder. So going to ECW at the time was the biggest break I could ask for at the time. And, taught me... It taught me something about myself that I needed to improve as an individual and as a person. And the people there treated me really good. Paul Heyman did not owe me any money when I left ECW. And Taz was a big part of helping me break in down there.
What is your memory of your match with Rob Van Dam?
In the ECW arena, probably the first time Rob had somebody going against him, cheering against him, and the crowd was split. It's probably one of my better matches there at ECW, and, Rob is now with the WWE. And I tell you, it was, when you're fighting two guys in a chair, things can get kind of brutal. But I hung in there till the end, and RVD got the pin. But I think at that point I won a lot of people, and I won the fans, and I won the boys over as far as, doing what I had to do, being a hard worker, showing my skills in the ring.
What were your initial impressions of the Mamluks with Johnny the Bull?
Johnny the Bull?
Mm-hmm.
My buddy, my friend, good kid. He listens, he's good talent. And, we still talk, we're still buds. And, every now and then, we try to cross paths, but he's on a tight schedule, and I'm wrestling in Japan now, so we don't get a chance to see each other. But, we talk from time to time, and, one day we hope to reunite the Mamelukes.
What was your opinion of the sketches, some of the comedy sketches that you guys did, namely the one with the meatballs and the girls?
Vin Russo was the head writer at the time, and he gave us the idea to do, and between Johnny and myself, we came up with some ad-lib stuff, and I thought it was one of the greatest things. People still talk about it today, and some of the stuff that Johnny and I did in WCW, the promos, the comedy, and then when we became fan favorites, nobody forgot the Mamalukes, and still today we're still pretty, pretty well known, and Johnny being in WWE and myself being on the international scene, we're pretty widespread. But like I said, one day I hope the Mamaluke reunion will take place, and we were a pretty good tag team. We're two-time world tag team champions of WCW, and I know given the chance again, we could be world champs again.
With WCW being sued by so many different ethnic groups, did any Italian groups complain about the sketches that you did?
Not anybody. I'm not really into that stuff, and it really didn't bother me. Everybody does their own thing, and whatever problems people had with WCW, that's their business. And as far as being ethnic group and having problems in Italian, never came up. Everybody appreciated the clean humor we did, and the stuff we did was, for TV, and a lot of kids enjoyed it, a lot of people. It was family-oriented, and you really can't get any better than that, and a lot of people enjoyed some of our stuff.
Going back a little bit, we didn't touch on it yet. What led to you leaving ECW and going to WCW?
Say that again?
What led to you leaving ECW and going to WCW?
WCW called me up. Vin Russo called me up and said they had a job for me. They said they had a character that they'd like me to fill. And basically I told Paul Heyman that WCW made an offer. And he was very happy for me that a guy finally got a break. And that was really it. I finished up at ECW and I started my career in WCW. My first pay-per-view was the Great American Bash.
Yeah, would you like to take the next one?
What memories do you have of the stretch match you had with Crowbar and David Flair?
Right. Probably, we were doing the tag titles changes, and I think we had won the titles already, and we needed a gimmick match, and we decided to do a Italian stretcher match. But I think for me, the highlight of that match was going off the top rope through a table onto Crowbar outside the ring. That was probably the highlight of that match for myself. Along with being in the ring with Disco. Tony Mamaluke and Johnny and Crowbar and David Flair. It was a great honor to work with them guys, and it was a pretty good match.
How did you enjoy holding the WCW tag titles?
When you're the champ, everybody loves you. You know what I'm saying? When you're walking down the street, the people know, here comes the champ. When you have that on your waist, there's no other feeling like it in the world. You know what I mean? You're the best. You've accomplished something. You've earned it, and there's nobody who can take it away. And the day you lose it, and you come back through the dressing room, you feel kind of naked because you feel like you're missing something. But what you did was you gained the respect of the guys and the company because they had enough faith in you to go represent, their company and their name. And we had a good tag title run, Johnny and I. And I think for the 2.5 months we had the title, I think we did pretty good.
In a match against Terry Funk, Johnny did a leg drop from the top rope and seriously injured himself. Do you ever speak to Johnny about doing dangerous moves like that?
Not really. Doing the Terry Funk match, I think was probably one of the best hardcore matches WCW had seen. And beating Terry Funk for the hardcore title is probably one of the most memorable matches I will ever have in my career. When you beat a legend like that for a title, major title in the middle, you can't ask for anything more than that. And that probably was my coming out party and making me a legitimate superstar in wrestling.
What is your memory of your match with Norman Smiley and Ralphus?
That was my first title defense on a pay-per-view, and I had a great time. Fighting two guys, Ralphus and Norman made a great tag team. I thought they did a commendable job. Ralphus, he's not a wrestler, but he did everything he needed to do, and Norman is a great great professional and a great worker, and I wouldn't mind doing it again with him.
You eventually lost the hardcore title to Lance Storm. How do you get along with Lance?
Lance is a tremendous competitor, a very nice guy. He's a good competitor. I always enjoyed working with Lance, and even though he's a lousy card player, and like he hated losing to me all the time. A lot of the guys in WCW hated to lose to me all the time in cards. I was one of the best, and my number one adversary in cards had to be Sting. But getting back to Lance Storm, a tremendous athlete, great guy. I love being in the dressing room with him. He's a hell of a nice guy, and he's a family man too. He's got a nice family.
What are your favorite card games?
Say it again?
What are your favorite card games?
My favorite card games? Well, as we're speaking tonight, it's Tuesday night card night here in Staten Island, and I was warming up playing a little 7-card stud, Follow the Queen, Queen Mariah, a little AC Deuce, so a couple of Italian games like that always get me going. Besides, it's a $25 takeout, you know what I'm saying? And the eats around the house. You guys are laughing again. You guys got to be serious here.
Have you ever played Texas Hold'em?
Say that again?
Have you ever played Texas Hold'em?
No, I don't think I have. It's not an Italian game. Strictly Italian card games. We, even if we get bored, I don't tell anybody, but we like to play Go Fish. But that's kind of bad to say, because when you tell somebody to go fish, you know what happens when you sleep with the fishes. You know what I'm saying, fellas?
Yes, I do.
You guys are having a great time, I gotta tell you. I can't stand the laughter.
Sorry. When we interviewed Buff Bagwell, Buff said that he went into a Thunder to do business, and Russo had him losing to you. He didn't really seem too thrilled with the fact that he was losing to you, and he didn't think it was a very good idea. Was Buff Bagwell ever a problem to get along with?
Me and Buff are real tight. We're good friends. Me and Buff used to travel together. You see, what happened is Buff was in an angle with, I believe he was in an angle with...
I think it was Chris Canyon.
Yeah, Chris Canyon at the time. And I wasn't going to be on the pay-per-view. So it didn't make sense for Buff to lose cleanly in the middle to me at the time in Buff's eyes. And the way they did it, they had Canyon come out and then Buff's mom come out. But it wasn't a problem between me and him. It just had to do with, the angle and the writing and mostly politics. But, Buff and I wrestled quite a few times after that, especially the XWF tapings, and we had a great match there. And like I said, we're buds. We're cool paisans. We even travel together when we get a chance. He carries his DVD player. We sit in the back of the car. We watch TV. You can't ask for anything better than that. And Buff is a hell of a nice guy.
Did you see the sale of WCW coming?
Well, I could say that it was very unorganized, and there was a lot of chiefs and no Indians. And when you have something like that, you can't run a successful business.
After the sale of WCW, you went and worked with the XWF, and the rumor had it that you were going to be one of their top draws. What do you think prevented the XWF from ever really taking off the ground?
Well, I'll tell you, they went to do the Disney tapings at the time, and, they spent a lot of money doing that. They brought a lot of talent in, but they didn't sign all the talent to contracts. So if you're going to have guys do TV tapings and you're going to spend the money, you should have had guys who are going to be your main guys signed to deals. They had guys on guarantees that weren't going to be their main draws and weren't named guys, and it didn't make any sense. And once the XWF had the tapings, I believe it was Kurt Hennig and Hogan who left. Then Jerry Lawler left, and then Roddy Piper soon after left. And once all those names started to leave, our credibility started to go down a little bit, and it made it harder for us to get a TV deal. But I was going to be one of their top draws. I was going to be one of their top guys in the company. But it's kind of hard because everybody in the back of their mind, they want to compete with Vince McMahon, and You know, I say it, I've been around the business for 13 years, and I tell you what, fellas, you know, you have to be yourself, and you have to be your own company before you can be Vince McMahon. And if people would understand that and just be their own company, they would last a lot longer, and it would be more successful.
What is your opinion of companies now like NWA, TNA?
I'm not there, so I really don't have an opinion. And all I do know is my buddy Vinny Russo is a part of it, and you know, I know he's working there. That's about all I could say about it.
I take it you haven't seen any?
I've watched one or two for a little bit, and you know, I really don't. I didn't watch enough of it to make an assumption or an opinion. You know, but I wish them the best. I hope they're doing great.
What are you up to these days?
I've been wrestling on the international circuit. I've been in Germany. Last year I won the Iron Man title in Germany for Tony St. Clair. I've been wrestling in Japan for World of Fighting in Japan. And I really just been doing that. I've been doing overseas stuff. You know, I mean, I find that I'm making good money. I'm a pretty good, I've built a pretty good name over there. The people like the fly Italian guy from Staten Island, New York, and I enjoy being in Japan. So I like the hard-hitting wrestling, and the you know, and the competition level is very good.
Would you ever like to try to make it here in the United States again?
If the opportunity presented itself for me to come home, I would definitely entertain the idea. You know, but I know a lot of the American fans, and I know a lot of the people are asking that same question I've been asked for the last, I don't know how many years. How come you're not wrestling in WWE? I can tell you it's probably the biggest mystery in wrestling sports today.
Dan, you want to take something?
No, go ahead.
Okay, do you mind if we close out with word associations?
Word association, go ahead.
You can either give a one-word answer, or if you've got a story you'd like to share, then by all means share it.
No problem.
Okay, first on the list is Vince Russo.
Vince Russo, my friend, guy gave me my break in WCW, and I will always be loyal to him.
Johnny the Bull.
Johnny the Bull, my buddy, my tag team partner, and you know, he's probably somebody I enjoy being with a lot. Daphne, very nice girl. She's a married woman, and she's very happy about being that. And I haven't talked to her in a long time, but it would be nice to speak to her again.
I got a little sad news for you. They're not together anymore.
You're kidding?
No. She's
They're divorced?
I don't know if they're divorced, but I know they're separated, and she was recently seeing CM Punk. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah, I know who that is. Yeah, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, fellas, go ahead.
Jimmy Hart.
Jimmy Hart, a nice man who shared his experience with me and gave me some knowledge.
Terry Funk.
Tremendous competitor, a real professional, and I'll never forget the favor he did for me on the Monday Night Raw. Oh, Monday Night Nitro, I'm sorry.
Rob Van Dam.
Rob Van Dam, great guy to work with, very athletic, tremendous family man. I know him and his wife from the ECW days, and very nice people.
The Harris Brothers.
Harris Brothers, I love them guys. They're my boys. You know, every time I'm working with them and traveling the road with them, I always have a good match. And you know, I go as far back as USWA days with them, and you know, really nice guys. You know, once you get to know them and you get to hang with them, they're pretty cool.
Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett, I enjoyed working with him. I know Jeff from Memphis also, and a hell of a nice guy. You know, we get along and everything is pretty cool with that.
Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman, I am thankful and grateful that he gave me a job when I needed one, and I appreciate that he helped me out when I needed it.
Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon. What can I say about Vince McMahon? What can I say about Vince McMahon? I worked for Vince a long, long time ago when Monday Night Raws were first coming out in the Manhattan Center when I was breaking into business. I have to say, I enjoyed being in his presence. Really didn't say much to me back then. I guess the people want to know, like I do, I guess, how come I'm not working for the company right now? But I guess maybe in due time, maybe things like that will change.
I have two. How about Sid Vicious?
Me and Sid worked in the ECW arena.
Right.
He put me head first over the top rope through a table, and that was the night I won a regular job in the ECW, and that's when Paul Heyman started flying me around. And on that note, nobody in the dressing room wanted to wrestle Sid that night except me.
And the final one I have is Bruno Sammartino.
Bruno Sammartino. I met him once. He was very nice to me. A great inspiration. A great champion. Someone to definitely look up to in the wrestling business. I'm probably very lucky to be, maybe not too many people know that, but, being in the Italian heritage and being a champion, a hardcore champion and a world tag team champion, and being in the same Paisan class as Bruno, it's pretty nice to have good company in the Italian ball game like that,
Final question I have for you is, what would you like to say to your fans?
What I'd like to say to my fans, I would like to thank them for all the support they've shown me.
Mm-hmm.
I am working hard all the time. I'm doing my wrestling. I've always been wrestling overseas. It's just that I haven't been on TV. And a lot of people always catch me on the internet and they ask me how come I'm not coming back and how come this. And I just want to tell them to keep watching the TV and keep sending your notes into whoever you got to send them into. And one day it will happen. I believe that wholeheartedly. I will wrestle for WWE one day. I don't know why I haven't. I don't know when it'll happen. I don't know where it'll happen. But hard work pays off, like I've always said, and one day it'll happen for me.
Mm. Well, we wish you the best, and we would like to thank you for your time, and thank you for this interview.
Do you have a website that you'd like to plug?
Well, I'm at bigvito.com. I catch the latest on my Japanese wrestling. I'd like to thank you guys for having me on.
It's our pleasure.
I'm glad I made you guys laugh a little. It's
Thank
got to be one of your funniest interviews ever.
Yeah.
I have to agree, you definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely right up there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Guys, if I could ever do another interview for you, you give me a call. You got my number.
Mm-hmm.
And give me a jingle, and I'll help you guys out.
Greatly appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. Cool.
Good luck, fellas.
Thank you,
Thank
too.
you.
Have a good one. Bye. Stay tuned for more from the interactive interview.
Enjoying what you're hearing? Be sure and check out WrestlingEpicenter.com on social media at Facebook.com/WrestlingEpicenter, on Twitter at James Epicenter, and of course, WrestlingEpicenter.com for 24-hour news updates, our interview archives, and all the other information you've come to expect from the Wrestling Epicenter.
This is Vince Russo, and you're listening to the interactive interview.
There's a place you know where all your sisters go. It's gonna do you right. This one is for all your crazy daughters of the night. I'm talking about the hair-raising women dressed in black and ready to go. I'm talking about the hair-raising women. I'm talking about you.
We're back with the interactive interview. We just finished up with Big Vito. What'd you think, Paisan?
He's funny, isn't he? That's one of the funniest interviews. He really is. He's a funny guy.
Threw me off my game a couple times, too.
Oh, yeah, same here. That's the first time I've ever had a conversation mid-interview with someone about something completely and utterly unrelated.
We did?
100% unrelated. Yeah, that card.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't even remember that.
Oh, I remember that. But then again, he probably was dozing asleep or something. I mean, remembering that time that you fell asleep while we was on the phone to someone, or we were trying to call someone.
Yeah. I was sitting there and laying on the phone, and I literally had the phone in my face, and I'm just falling asleep, and then I wake up 5 minutes later, and Daniel's just like whistling Dixie. I'm like, yeah. Dan, you there? Okay. Yeah, no, that's what I did that time.
Oh, right, yes, with you. Right, yeah, picture, funny guy. He really actually is a funny guy, legitimately. And, yeah, I thought at the beginning of the interview, I thought, same as you did, I think, that we're going to get a kayfabe, Big Vito.
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
I thought it was going to be pretty kayfabe through the entire thing based on some of it, and I was getting a little nervous, but I don't mind that. I wouldn't have minded that. That would have been funny if we would have had that entire thing. But I think what we got was pretty good. You got a little kayfabe at some points with his doing his character, and then you got to know the person as well.
Yeah.
I would say his real name if I knew it.
Vito across.
There you go.
Something close to that, I can't. Pronunciation obviously isn't my strong point.
Uh-huh.
Before I forget, or I completely omit it from this segment completely, I'd like to announce the winner of the ProWrestling.com Premium Section Lifetime Membership Contest.
Really?
It was held a couple of shows ago now.
A couple of shows ago, and for those who don't remember, what was the question, Daniel?
The question was, Teddy Hart, the newest breakout superstar from the NWA TNA Super X tournament, uses a top rope shooting star press finisher. But what is his name for it? The same name that Bret Hart used on one of his moves when he was on the WWE contract. And I think everybody apart from one person...
Is it the Irish Whip?
Exactly, the Irish Whip. Everyone got it right.
The Irish Whip, the Russian leg sweep. I'm trying to think of something Canadian, but I can't. Maple syrup.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, everybody apart from one person, well, I'm not going to name and shame because there was an email submission and I've lost most of the email submissions apart from their names.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, we're all put in a hat here. Well, not a hat, it's actually a tin. It's actually pens rather than pieces of paper.
Uh-huh. Let's hear it. It's
not exactly high-tech, but...
Ah, right.
It's quite funny because I've got like pieces of paper wrapped around pens with names on the inside. It's quite funny. It's in a little tin and stuff. It took about 5 minutes. It was that, or I'd try and find a hat, and I don't think I've got a baseball cap anywhere, so I don't wear them, so it turned into be a tin. I've got.
Do you wear any top hats?
So I upgraded. Pardon?
You can wear a top hat. Do you wear top hats?
Top hat. No.
So where does the bunny come from?
Pardon?
Nothing.
Oh, funny. I'm not a magician. I'm just extravagantly excellent. So, yeah, the answer was, of course, the heart attack.
The heart attack. I got that one.
That, it was on one of the old wrestling games as well when Bret was on it. It was like a double, it was like a clothesline, sort of underhook clothesline type thing.
Basically, it was originally done with the Hart Foundation, where Jim Neidhart, an upcoming guest, just to throw that in there, held the guy up in kind of like a bear hug, and Bret Hart would hit the ropes and do it out of the bear hug.
Yes.
Right.
It's around the neck, isn't it?
Right. It's like around the neck, and I'm trying to think what it'd be. Like,
sort of bulldog.
It's almost more like a bulldog than a clothesline, but it's.
Yeah, so that's the Bret Hart version. Of course, Teddy Hart used it on the TNA X Division Super X tournament. Was when some of the fans probably saw it for the first time, and it was called the Heart Attack, indeed. So had quite a few submissions,
right.
And I'm going to spin the pot.
Don't do that. That's illegal in this country.
Funny. One's fallen out, so we've lost one of them. Sorry to that person that fell on the floor. Actually, I'll check afterwards and see who that person was. Just to rub it in.
Okay.
So that person didn't even get a chance, okay? Taking the pen out. Taking the lid off.
How did it fall out if the lid was on?
No, the lid of the pen, you plonk, not the lid of the pot. There's no lid in the pot. It's just like a pot.
Oh.
A metal pot, like cooking pot.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Oh, dear. Right, and we've got the name. It's an email submission from Dave Dorval.
Drum roll. Oh, you said it before I could do the drum roll.
Oh, sorry.
Alright.
I'm so sorry.
Let's try that one more time.
Let's do that again.
Okay. That's my drum roll.
Okay, very good. And it's an email submission from Dave Dorval. And obviously, it's going to be another person who's going to email me saying, no, you actually pronounced my name wrong. So, okay, Dave will be winging an email off to you saying congratulations and whatnot, in case you don't hear the show, which obviously is very doubtful, but we'll wing off an email to you and get off you the information we need for your ProWrestling.com lifetime membership premium area access. ProWrestling.com recently upgraded their premium area access, I believe.
What did they add?
I'm not sure because I'm not a premium member myself.
You actually are a moderator on the website.
I am indeed. I'm a moderator on the forum. And I help with the news section. And, of course, we are the official show of ProWrestling.com. Statistically, the #1 wrestling website, wrestling news site online. You've got to be careful, because if you say wrestling website, we're wrong. Because WWE.com is the #1, then Pro Wrestling is just fine. Not just behind that, but quite a way behind that.
Well, obviously, because WWE.com gets advertising and has the store and has everything on there that, you know, it's WWE. I mean, it's the #1 company right now. So obviously their 76 hours of programming a week is going to make their website the #1 website.
Exactly. And just to say that the advertising rates on ProWrestling.com are still available. You can still buy advertising on ProWrestling.com. I've done a lot of the brokering for other people, such as like, you know, UFC people and whatnot, who are all interested in buying advertising on ProWrestling.com, and there are still spaces. God knows how long that will go on for, because it's the first time in the website's history that they've done mass production of ads, whereby anybody can buy ads. And it could be the last for it.
Why?
There's no way to say how long it will go on for. So,
ProWrestling.com?
ProWrestling.com.
It'll be around forever, man.
We've been enough.
Lifetime membership means you're around forever.
Correct.
Right. Then again, you could be a member of nothing.
Oh, let me just open up this. Oh no, I've lost. Hang on. Put the pen somewhere. In a second, remind me to pick up the pen and check the piece of paper with the name on it for the person who didn't even have a chance because they fell out the pot.
Okay.
Okay. Well, actually,
Shit or get off the pot.
I'll do it now. I'll pick it up.
Did anybody get that?
No, I didn't.
I said shit or get off the pot.
Oh, funny.
There you go.
Yeah, it's fallen into a magazine, so there we go, right? Opening it up, taking the lid off. Trying to open a lid with one hand while being on the phone, the other hand's too hard. Right, there we go.
Can you?
This is quite funny. Because the person who just got banned because they thought it was you. I can't even pronounce his name. Godzillion. I've just put Godzillion.
Godzillion the Hulkamaniac.
Alright, I've just put Godzillion on the piece of paper.
Now he got banned because everybody thought it was me.
Apparently, that's what you said.
That's what I assume. I want you to contact JC about that, by the way.
Okay.
Because
I'll do that as soon as he's finished. Oh, breaking news story.
What?
I'm being told by instant message online that we've got Johnny Cashmere and Trent Acid. I don't know whether we've got them for booked for the show or whether we've got them, got their contact information or what, but just a friend who I asked to look into it because the Pro Wrestling Forum people wanted Cashmere because I have done my research, but I heard something about he quit or he retired or something along those lines.
By who?
From CZW.
Okay. And Trent Acid is from CZW. He also works at show in Japan. He also works in Japan. I know who he is. He did Missy Hyde in the ass.
Excellent.
Seriously. He was from what I understand, he was bragging about it backstage.
Huh?
And she emphatically denies it. So that might be a topic to talk to about.
Also, just to let you know while we're on air.
You might want to word it a little nicer, though.
No wonder. Just to word it a little nicer, just to let you know while we're on air, to let everybody else know as well, we've obviously got booked for upcoming interviews Gilberg, Jim Neidhart is mentioned.
Make sure you clarify that. It's Gilberg, not Goldberg.
Gilberg.
Right.
The real man's now.
Right.
Oh no, that's William Regal.
That was a horrible gimmick.
I met him just after that gimmick and I still liked it. I lied through my teeth to him in person and he said he didn't like it. Anyway.
He's a man's man.
What's a man's man? What's a man? That's great. I just said such a man in a really high-pitched voice. The irony of it all. Also, let me finish, please. Tully Blanchard, help me out here. Briscoe and Mabel, the guy who went under the names Briscoe and Mabel in WWE, Nelson Knight, Nelson Frazier, depending on what name you go by.
Christopher Daniels.
Christopher Daniels, of course, is actually been recorded.
Yep, great interview.
That was definitely indeed.
Father James Mitchell.
Oh, there we go, that's the one. Try to think of him. There was someone else.
We're in the works with a couple people, and I don't think anything's confirmed.
I know the one I'm thinking of. You know we had Johnny Valiant on?
Yeah.
Well, I've dropped an email off to Jimmy.
Jimmy Valiant.
It is right, isn't it? For some reason, Jimmy didn't sound right when I said it.
There was three Valiant brothers. Jimmy, Johnny, and I can't remember the other one.
Well, which one was the Boogie Woogie man?
Jimmy.
Jimmy, good. That's who I've sent the email off to. I was looking for his contact information, couldn't find it. A couple of people requested him on the pro wrestling forums, said he was at Dragon Con or something. So I did a bit of research. Couldn't find his, I found his mailing address, which is a bit strange. But I couldn't find his phone number. So I sent him off an email, and we'll see what we can get done with Jimmy, hopefully. And we could have the two of the Valiants.
Really?
We've got a new show out there that's had both of them to him.
Absolutely, that'd be great. Former tag team legends, the team of the 70s.
Indeed. Also, I'd just like to talk absolute rubbish while I remember what I was trying to say a second ago.
I also wanted to do something that we haven't done lately since SummerSlam.
What's that?
Let's talk about the pay-per-view.
Okay, let's do that.
No Mercy. Somebody do me a favor. If anybody out there is a rock fan, I have a CD, an AC/DC CD with a song called No Mercy. And I can't remember what CD it's on, and I went through them all, and I can't seem to find it. Help me out. Throw me a bone. It goes something like this. No mercy for the band because they want it. Something like that. That was not my good singing voice.
Just cunning rendition.
Yeah. I actually, the thing about me is I can actually sing if I want to.
So can I. Well, my voice is all scratchy nowadays. I used to be a good singer. I was in a musical once.
A musical?
Bugsy Malone.
Bugsy Malone?
Bugsy Malone.
Bugsy.
Don't tell me you haven't heard of it.
I think I have.
You better have done.
I think so.
Anyway, what I'm just going to quickly announce before we talk about No Mercy is that on the next show, which is probably going to be Christopher Daniels, most likely.
Or Asia.
Or possibly Asia, yeah, we got her recorded as well.
That was a good interview.
Or Sid Vicious, we got that recorded. On one of those, basically on the next interview, in the recap, we're going to be discussing the topic that was discussed on the pro wrestling forums, which was accounting for believability in sports entertainment.
That's actually a good discussion, and I won't get into it now, but let's get into that later. I didn't actually post in there because I thought maybe I should save it for the show.
It's a good idea. If we give, obviously I'll give across the basic points that some of the people in that thread have posted, and perhaps try and get one of them on the show, maybe.
Maybe.
We did quickly.
Who started the chat? Was it Rusty Brooks?
No, it wasn't. It was Tombstone.
Tombstone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, if we... I'll make a post in there afterwards, or private message someone. If we discuss after the show who we should have on, and I'll make contact with them, see if we can get them on the show.
Alright, that'd be a good conversation.
Indeed.
So...
ProWrestling.com discussion forum member, perhaps.
Since you're online, Daniel, could you do me a favor?
Maybe.
Could you run over to any site that has show results?
Yes.
and pull up the card from No Mercy?
I can. I can go to my own website, 3strandwrestling.com.
Ah.
Haha.
3strandwrestling.com. Are we the official radio show of 3 Strand as well?
No, not technically anymore. Because we're the official show of Pro Wrestling, it's only the official show of one. Just that I happen to officially own 3 Strand.
Ah, okay. When you click interviews on 3 Strand, where does it go?
It goes nowhere, because I took that link off.
Oh, okay.
I took it off in order to put the multimedia gallery back up. That's now online.
Now, what is the multimedia gallery?
It's got, I'll quickly run you through. It's got things such as wrestling GIFs, like animated GIFs, entrance theme lyrics, CD track listings, MIDI files, and some video clips as well.
Ah.
Like Benoit in Japan, Steve Blackman's elbow off the top of the Titantron, just things like that.
Steve who? Blackman?
Steve Blackman, yeah.
He did something high risk?
Oh yeah.
What happened?
At the top of the thing. He had elbow surgery, it's forced him to retire. But he's back in fighting shape and there's a possibility that he could come back. But anyway, the No Mercy card was opened up by Rey Mysterio versus Tajiri, which was a good match. The finish was the debut of the tag team Jimmy Yang and Ryan, I think it's pronounced Ryan Dakota.
Uh-huh.
They came in they basically made the debut running. Next up was A-Train.
Is it the return of the Jung Dragons?
No, hope not.
Okay.
Silly gimmick. Then it was Benoit versus A-Train.
I saw that match.
Let's run through it first, what they was, and then you can talk about it after that.
Okay.
Right. Zach Gowen versus Matt Hardy. Then we had the somewhat unbuilt up APA versus Bashams. Then was the stupid Vince McMahon versus Stephanie McMahon match, which I've only seen one person like out of all the people, all the feedback I've seen.
I thought we were supposed to wait and save our opinions till after we were done.
Sorry. John Cena versus Kurt Angle was next, and the main event followed after the Big Show versus Eddie Guerrero match, which was next. And then it was the main event, which was Undertaker versus Lesnar in the chain match.
Okay, let's go over it. The first match was okay. I'm not really that big on Tajiri.
No.
To me, he really, like I said on the forums, and I pretty much got banned for, if you're Japanese and you come to America and you can't speak English, you're just not going to get over it unless you're really something special. And I don't know. I think his kicks are amazing, but I don't think he's, that special.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. I haven't seen the pay-per-view yet because I don't actually have cable access to see pay-per-views at the current house that I'm doing. I read the play-by-play of 3 Strand Wrestling as it happened, and I thought I was surprised that they put the Tajiri Rey Mysterio match on first, because it's a classic case of what happened with WCW, in that the two guys would go out and absolutely tear down the house, and they wouldn't be able to follow it with the next couple of matches. But luckily,
in theory, though, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to start out with a bang.
True, but then the problem would be that the crowd would be let down by the next match, which could be a good match. I mean, the Benoit A-Train match was good. And,
it was good, but A-Train damn near killed him.
Yeah, you were speaking to me online that exact set. I obviously haven't seen it, so just explain what happened.
He looked like he was going for a press slam, and I don't know, Benoit might have been trying to reverse it or come down or something, but he looked like he slipped off A-Train's hand, and he came down like head first into the mat. And it looked, even what's his name, Taz, as he was doing color commentary, goes, "Oh my God!" And he was being real serious because it wasn't just a bump. It was like, "Oh my God, did he just like kill himself?" He really did look hurt. And
was it onto a steel chair?
yeah, but it didn't. Yeah, but it wasn't meant to be. I don't think anyway. And the referee ran over to him too. You rarely see that if it's a fake injury. But he didn't even act injured. He didn't even really that injured. So obviously he's okay. But it looked wicked.
Oh, so I mean, I heard that was a good match, and I heard that they finished it with the sharpshooter.
Right.
The Stu Hart memorial, Stu Hart sort of tribute.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. Yeah, that was very cool.
Of course, they mentioned the untimely and tragic death of Stu Hart and Road Warrior Hawk on Raw last night.
Did they? Good.
They did a small segment on it and had a video package for Stu Hart, but obviously with the passing of Hawk being so soon, they didn't have any time to put something together for him, but still mentioned it. Which obviously is a terrible loss of the business.
Obviously, and I don't want to get too down on everybody, but that was a sad loss. I saw Road Warrior Hawk not 3 months ago, and I stood next to him actually, and he was one big man. I don't know what the cause of death was. I know what I've heard.
It's a suspected heart attack.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. He sounded like he was lifting boxes and then laid down and just, that was it. But Cowboy made the remark, and even though he banned me, I want to say this. He's right. I mean, the guys in the business today, I'm looking at tapes from 10, 12, 15 years ago. And I'm seriously counting the number of people that are dead in these pay-per-views and these tapes that I have. I'm going fast forwarding. I'm seeing Dino Bravo gone. Then I see Ultimate Warrior, Texas Tornado. Texas Tornado's gone. Legion of Doom, Hawk's gone. Against Kurt Hennig, gone. And Demolition. I mean, 3 out of 8 people in 13 years ago. That's just like, it's getting scary. So I hope these guys today are starting to realize, maybe not looking like a Greek god is okay if it means you could actually live a full life. And stay off the pain pills and everything. I mean,
amen to that.
I have a couple stories I could tell about a former friend of mine, but I won't get into that. I don't want to get into that now.
Okay.
But let's just say this: they're flirting with death as well, and that was one of the main things that I started out when I first started being friends with this person. One of the first things I said was, if I'm going to be friends with you, I don't want you involved in any of this shit. And that went out the window.
Good advice. Hope anybody listening can take it. But talking about the future of the business, it seems that No Mercy was kind of a breeding ground for the future of the business, because not only did they bring in Jimmy Yang and Ryan Skoda for their debut, also another developmental talent, John Heinrich. I probably again mispronounced his name, but he was in a backstage segment after the Benoit match with Matt Hardy and Shannon Moore.
I saw that.
I haven't heard much about it, but what actually happens?
He was choking out the little MFer. He was choking him out saying, what'd you do to my tape? And Matt Hardy came in, he's like, I got your tape. I was watching it, and you're good. I'm going to send it in. I'm going to give it to Vince. And then when the guy walked away, he said, who the hell was that? So apparently he gave him some kind of a tryout tape. And Matt Hardy was supposed to give it to Vince, and, he destroyed it or something.
And next up was Zach Gowen versus Matt Hardy, and I think, I'm not being funny, but Zach got turned into a complete jobber the past few weeks on SmackDown.
Right.
And then he goes into a pay-per-view match and beats basically 2-on-1, because Shannon Moore was interfering. And he beats him with a moonsault, which is not done a great deal to push Zach Gowen's career, but it's done a hell of a lot to sort of put a dampener on Matt Hardy. It really is probably the only outcome that I would have expected him not to do. It was probably the most detrimental to both characters. Well, it's not detrimental to the Gowen, it just didn't improve him much.
Zach Gowen, I'm not trying to be offensive here, he's a novelty act. And I don't think you're going to be seeing him in 10 years. I think what you're going to see him for is what they brought him in for Hogan, They brought him in to get over like that, and that worked. Well, when they did the thing with Lesnar and he broke his leg, and lately he's just been losing every match. Personally, I don't think they're doing the right things to build him up. I think beating him is the worst thing you could do. You have to have him win almost all his matches. This way, when you do beat him, you're creating a monster heel, because no matter what, this kid's going to be a face.
Yeah.
It's hard to boo a guy with one leg.
It'd be interesting for them to attempt to do a heel turn with him. It'd definitely be interesting.
He could say the fans can support him or something. But I don't think it would work.
The usual sort of, like, oh, the fans don't like me, they don't cheer for me, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
Sort of the way of getting the heel is the regular way. So.
Right. I don't know. I can't see them turning him a heel because the heel has to lead the dance in the match. And I don't know, he basically does all high-flying moves. And usually high-flying moves are for baby faces.
Well, the next match on the card was APA versus Bastions. I'm going to skim over that because I didn't even read the paper-play after that.
I didn't watch it. I left the room.
Against them, but it just wasn't something that sort of caught my mind. They built it up, but they haven't built it up to the extent that someone would want to take their time out and read about it. My humble opinion.
Perfectly honest with you, I left the room, so I don't even know what happened there.
I spent all this time reading up Vince McMahon versus Stephanie McMahon as something that has to be watched, and they built up a match.
I watched it, and I still have to wonder what the hell is wrong. They said Vince, one of the announcers, it was either Michael Cole or Taz, said Vince McMahon has lost his friggin' mind. The only thing is, that might have been a shoot remark. Because how could you possibly think people want to see that?
Well, as I said when we were running through the card, I haven't seen a single person, I've seen one single person out of every single review.
And of everybody that I've talked to, only one person said that they liked it.
So that's two people out of, I've read, it's my job to read the reviews of the pay-per-views and stuff, it's part of my job to do that. I've read countless, like hundreds, like tens and tens and tens, nearly hundreds of the blooming reviews on forums and in columns and whatnot since the event. And to have two, like if you put yours and mine together, to have two from those near 100 people, it's something so quick that that's not what people want to see. And Stephanie's going to be off TV now, that's good. Hopefully this show's going to go out before Thursday, so I'm not going to reveal the spoiler of SmackDown. It's going to happen tonight, but that'll be a good move.
Well, our friends will be covering it live on the air.
Oh, yeah. Let's not even get into it.
Okay, let's not get into it. All right, what else I got to say now? All right, I don't know. There's something about, and I know it was designed to do this, but there's something about seeing, just the theory that a guy as big as Vince is, choking out his daughter with a pipe. It's just, disturbing. Not to mention, Linda McMahon is not the slightest bit entertaining.
The poor woman, she's got the charisma of a fish.
She got what?
The charisma of a fish.
Right, I know.
It's like, oh my. When she was doing that little thing with Eric Bischoff, I felt pity for the cameraman that had to film it.
Absolutely.
Poor lady, she must be an excellent businesswoman, and she's probably a wonderful wife, loving mother, but she's not. She's out of her depth doing this sort of thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, they want to keep pushing themselves. They want to keep pushing the family.
Yeah, I think that has to be the backbone, even though none of them are actually trained wrestlers.
Right. I don't know. Shane McMahon is decent in the ring.
He's still not a trained wrestler, though.
Right.
Still a bump artist.
Basically.
A lot of the rumours suggest that basically the talent says that if Shane McMahon's going to become a wrestler, he's got to be a wrestler. He's not going to be a person who comes in and does a few matches here and there just on pay-per-views and maybe big Raw events. And he wrestled on house shows. And what happened for him wrestling on house shows? Well, he broke Test's foot. So, experiment over, perhaps. I don't know.
I don't know, maybe so.
Yeah.
When was that that he broke Test's foot?
He broke his foot about a week ago.
So Test is out now?
He's still on the Raw and whatnot, but he's on with crutches and stuff. So just continue obviously his angle where Steiner and Stacey are his bitches.
Okay. Scott Steiner is the biggest disappointment of 2003.
I disagree. I think he's turning the corner now.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think when they brought him in, I think they expected something huge from him. I think they expected, because he was second to last WCW champion. because he was so over in WCW. But then when he got there, it was like it was a horrible way to bring him in. I mean, the match he had with Triple H was a disaster. 68 belly-to-belly suplexes. I mean, when I was reading that the belly-to-belly suplex was banned, I was thinking it had to be because of that match. So the belly-to-belly suplex, when I saw 8,000 of them done by Scott Steiner to Triple H in that match, I think it was Royal Rumble, that was just like, when I read that it was banned, I was thinking to myself, well, whoever it was probably saw the tape of that match and said, if I see another belly-to-belly suplex, I'm going to bang my face against the wall.
Well, I must say that if anybody was going to do that, the belly-to-belly suplex over and over and over again, Scott Steiner wouldn't be the first person I'd choose to have my federation doing it. Because 50% of the ones that he did, he looked like if he wasn't holding as tight as he was, they'd go wrong.
Right.
And he still tries to do the double under powerbomb, which he obviously isn't strong enough to do anymore in some of the bigger events.
When he fell over?
He wasn't on the No Mercy card, but God knows how we got onto that. Even though I just want to quickly say that I disagree with you about him being the biggest disappointment. I personally think that, accreditation can go to Kevin Nash, who's managed to injure himself more times than he's been in the ring.
What is exactly, I saw, Wavell posted some kind of a video making fun of Kevin Nash. What exactly is wrong with him now?
He's now got a neck more screwed up than Steve Austin's one.
How?
God knows.
I think Kevin Nash should just stay out of the ring.
It happens. Anyway, next match on the card was John Cena versus Kurt Angle.
Okay.
It could have been one further up the card than the US title match, although they are pushing the US title as a legitimate, almost equal to world title, so fair enough, pretty good decision.
Okay match.
I thought from what I've heard, it sounded like it was the best match on the card.
Probably was, but that doesn't say much about the card. I don't know. I wasn't that impressed with it. I'll be perfectly honest. I'm not that impressed with John Cena. I know everybody loves him, but I personally don't see. I mean, I see him as very drab. Kurt Angle, of course, is amazing. I'm not going to ever, deny that this guy's a fantastic worker. I think Angle can get a good match out of just about anybody.
True.
So I thought that was a decent match, but I honestly didn't think it was anything that special.
I would have thought maybe they should have gone with unless they're going to continue this again, the feud, and maybe have Cena go over it in the long run. I don't know, but maybe they have made a mistake in putting John Cena, not putting John Cena over, because he's the sort of person at the moment, he needs a bit of a push, and then he'd be in the main event sort of lineup.
I don't think I don't know if he's going to make it. I think he's going to be like Edge. I think he's going to get close, but never really make it to the top.
Cena's got an actual gimmick. Edge has just got sort of like, I've got long blonde hair, it's all curly, some girls like me, and I do a spear. That's his gimmick. Cena's he is like Thugonomics. That is him. That's his gimmick. And so he's got something to build on, because he can always he's always got a promo, a set way to do a promo, and he can rap it, freestyle it. So it's different. I like this John Cena gimmick. I
don't know. I think Edge is a far better worker. Far better. Edge is probably. To be honest with you, Edge and Kurt Angle are probably as good as it gets in the WWE right now. Even though Edge has got a bad neck, I hope he's. Is he going to come back soon? It should have been.
It's probably going to be around the same time as Kevin Nash returns, which will be. They're hoping for WrestleMania, but if not, just after. Around that sort of time.
Well, I don't know. I love from the way Edge used to be. I loved his work.
Okay.
Some of the best matches I saw of 2002 was him against Kurt Angle. So.
Next match was the Big Show versus Eddie Guerrero match.
I didn't actually see the ending of that match. How did it end?
Do you know the result?
No.
Basically, Big Show just hit 2 chokeslams. Well, he went for a chokeslam. Eddie hit a low blow and then DDT'd him. Then Big Show went for another chokeslam, got it, and became the United States champ. Which is a questionable decision, because it somewhat raises the US title value, true, but it somewhat de-pushes Eddie Guerrero. Somewhat like sort of he's got all this momentum, and it kind of sort of puts a bit of a stop to him. They're also
What I would probably do right now if I was them with Eddie Guerrero, so I'd find a way to break him away from the lie, cheat, steal thing. To me, that's kind of a stereotype. So I'd just do my best to get him away from that.
It's just thank God that they actually realised he needs to be a face, because when they were trying to use him as a heel, it was just...
He was getting cheered, right?
Exactly.
He's just too likable. You just gotta like the guy. He's just such a great worker, you gotta like him. He's like Benoit. You just gotta like him.
If put in the right gimmick, he could obviously be a huge heel.
Right.
But the gimmick that he's got with the lie, cheat and steal gimmick, it's one of those ones that could be a sort of tweener gimmick that could go either way. And obviously, with someone as popular as him playing the role, it's going to be a face turn. And I reckon they're setting up for a Chavo versus Eddie feud, because they kind of, I don't know, they're sort of using just Chavo here and there, bits and pieces.
Chavo's a great worker. I think they should try to push him. He's almost as good as Eddie.
After the match, Chavo came out to the ring, and Eddie they had sort of not an altercation, but kind of a little chat with Chavo, reminding Eddie that even though he's not the US champ, he's still a tag champ. So I don't know. Big Show, US champ. Brock Lesnar, world champ.
Well, the world title match was a bust.
Do you reckon?
What was this? Taker, Lesnar, 316. It's like my favorite line of 1999. Kevin Nash sitting backstage with Scott Hall in a WCW event, and he says, "The envelope, please." The answer, 316. 316. What is the number of times The Undertaker wrestled Austin in the main event?
Because Kevin Nash is a funny guy.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
He's a funny guy, but obviously no longer. It's a possibility that if he chose the Kurt Angle neck surgery as opposed to the Steve Austin neck surgery. If he'd have chosen the Steve Austin neck surgery, he would have had to have 4. I'm not too sure on technical terms of the neck.
Vertebrae?
I think it could be vertebrae. Whereas Austin had 2, he would have to have 4 fused together. So that would have definitely ended his career. He chose to attempt to carry on. So, yep, Lesnar won. If he hadn't won, it would have been a bit of a strange decision, because it's in a position now where I don't think Taker will get the belt again in his career. If he does, it'll be a sort of last sort of on the top. Thank you very much.
Taker did good though.
He did.
He did the over the top rope jump, which I haven't seen him do in a long time. And he was actually strong enough to powerbomb Lesnar, which he wasn't a couple of years ago. So he looked pretty good to me.
And obviously, some of the reviews said that it was a no DQ match with a funny title. And that the chain was used, yeah, fair enough, but it's still kind of like a no DQ match, just with like fancy dressing on top.
Nothing special. It was nothing. It just wasn't anything special.
Then again, they didn't even have to actually make it a gimmick match. But obviously they wanted to wrap the feud up as quick as possible, so that Lesnar can move on. Apparently, it's going to be Lesnar moving on to Benoit and Taker moving on to them. So, set up by Taker being launched off the top ropes by Vince.
Taker and Vince.
Very last match, apparently.
So let me get this straight. Vince McMahon has trouble wrestling his daughter, and now he's going to go toe-to-toe with The Undertaker.
What's betting he wins as well?
I can't understand that. Now, what I would do here, Undertaker should now stop getting haircuts. Instantly. Just stop getting haircuts. Vince wins. Taker goes away a couple months. Comes back as the old character.
It's been what people have wanted for years, but still, WWE haven't done it.
That's what I would do. Bring him back with long hair and the character, and this Let him end his career, because I don't think he wants to stick around too much longer.
As a wrestling webmaster, one of the two things that you get asked most often, before Goldberg signed to WWE, was, is Goldberg going to sign? And is it going to be Goldberg versus Austin? Because that would be elite and cool. You get that sort of thing. And then you also get two questions about The Undertaker. Has it always been the same Undertaker?
Yes.
It has. And
except for Brian Lee.
It's going to be the dead man against it.
Right.
Well, no.
I would like him to
He
be.
doesn't want to be, so unless he changes his mind, I can't see him do it.
I think you should. I think that's how you have to end that character. Because whatever he is now, it's just not working for me.
He's still over.
He's still over, but it's like, yay, there's the legend. I mean, it's not like when he was over for the reason that he was hot. It's like, yay, there's a legend, let's cheer him. It's The Undertaker, I've seen him before.
Well, I'm just proud of you for actually watching a WWE event.
Yeah, I told you I left the room a couple times, but...
I'm still proud.
Okay. I had to learn to take compliments. Okay.
Okay, well, I believe this is about time to wrap it up, because it's been a bit longer than we wanted to. Well, I wanted to.
Well,
I know you're not talking to me, so...
Well, just wanted to do this. Our good friends at TNA are having a pay-per-view tomorrow night. Well, probably tonight by the time this goes up. Maybe last night by the time this goes up.
But they're having a pay-per-view.
They're having a pay-per-view on Wednesday night. I'll just say that. The
Do every Wednesday.
22nd. And the main event is AJ Styles against Jeff Jarrett, NWA World Heavyweight Title.
Quick question. Who do you think's going to win?
My pick, Jeff Jarrett.
Same.
Here's why. They got Hogan. Hogan said he wants the NWA title. Rumor is it's going to be Hogan against Jarrett at Bound for Glory. There's your main event, world title. So in other words, somehow Jarrett's going to have to get the belt, and if Jarrett doesn't win the belt, it's because Hogan's going to show up and cost him it. That's the only thing that's going to keep him from winning the belt.
It's a shame because AJ Styles has been a good champ. He's put some good matches, but this also opens up the possibility for AJ Styles to go back and be heel AJ Styles on the undercard again, rather than because he's been face AJ Styles on the undercard, heel AJ Styles on top. Time to reverse it, I think. Play AJ Styles as a heel for a bit. He's not getting very far with Vince Russo. Decides to dump Russo, go on his own, get back on top. I think.
I think you turn him face and put him back in the X Division. I don't think he'd get over as a heel. I think fans want to like him right now.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if you're right or not.
I just think people want to like him because he has that, I don't know, he has that thing that Benoit does, where you just, even if he's a heel character, you'd like him. It's hard not to like him. What?
I don't like RVD.
Well, I don't like RVD, so that might be a bad example.
I'm saying in general. You.
Okay.
Anyway.
Is RVD trying to be a heel?
No.
Okay.
They're giving up trying for RVD to be a heel. Because he still has the RVD thing.
Right.
And can I just say to anybody listening, I really, really, really recommend you go and listen. And this is promoting another show. You go over to audiowrestling.com and listen to the RVD interview that Get in the Ring just did. Because they pulled an excellent interview out of RVD. I mean, he's done some standard interviews with every other show that he's been on. And they've said the same thing over and over again. Oh, yep, how you doing, RVD? Do you like being the Intercontinental Champ? Did you like it when you was in ECW? Blah, 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 blah. They've got nothing interesting out of him. They've got a boring box standard interview out of him, the sort of thing that, like, you sort of cringe at and you think, oh, yeah, he's done the same thing on every...
Basically, it's like watching flies fuck.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
No, I've never watched Fly Fuck, but yeah, true. But Get in the Ring got a really good interview out of him, and I really say props to Sir Adam, and go over the list.
Sir Adam?
Check it out. That's all.
He was knighted?
You know his name, Sir Adam. We call him Adam.
Why do you call him Sir Adam?
What's his name? His on-air name.
On-air name is Sir Adam.
You're spoiling the gimmick.
Oh, okay. We gotta come up with gimmick names for ourselves.
You can be,
James the asshole.
I'll be, that.
Wow, those are gimmicks.
Thanks.
We could sell t-shirts with that.
Yay. Oh, Don't even do it.
Yay!
Nope. Damn it. I set you up, didn't I?
That was for JC.
I set you up.
Yes, you did. Speaking of being set up...
Mm.
I'm not going to go there. Okay.
Anyway, I'm going to go off and speak to Johnny Cashmere now and see if we can get an interview with him. And hopefully I'm going to see if we've got an email back from Jimmy Loney. If not, hopefully we'll see you all you fans for the next show, which will either be Christopher Daniels or one of the other pre-taped interviews we've got at the moment, which will be Asia or Sid Vicious.
I think if I'm taking a bet, though, the best bet is going to be Daniels.
Yeah.
I think that's the hot one right now. We pulled a great one out of him, I thought.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
And I want to dedicate that one to Asylum. They put in some excellent questions with us.
My best friend. Hey Dan. What happens to a Cuban with a what do you call a Cuban with a flat tire?
Yeah.
Drowned.
I'm sure it'll process in a minute and I'll find it funny, but at the moment...
They sail over the ocean to come to Florida. So the joke is that Miami is basically Cuba. Because there's so many Cubans there. That's pretty... So... I'm
possibly going to Miami in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Random fact.
It's a nice place.
It's a friend that wants to go there, so... I'm going to go. Yeah, random.
I might be going to Bound for Glory.
Oh, yeah?
I'm considering it. If it's going to be where they say it is.
Where's that?
The rumor was it was going to be in Vegas, but I'm not sure if those negotiations fell through.
The problem with Vegas is that if they were going to put it there, they'd have to apply for a promoter's license and whatnot. So, it's doubtful, but if they can get it done, then that'd be good. It'd be good. Anyway, yeah, upcoming shows, Christopher Daniels, Asia, Sid Vicious, upcoming interviews that we're going to record are Tommy Blanchard, Jim Neidhart,
yeah, baby! I can't do it.
There you go.
Remember when he did that laugh? I love that.
And Gilbert.
How did he do that? That was Homer fun.
Hey, stop talking over me. We'll get
down you. I'm hunting rabbits.
Alright, well with that note we'll round it up. Thank you for listening. James, do the exit thing, you're better at it than me.
Alright, what are we going to play? Since we just did No Mercy, how about I play Show No Mercy? LA Guns. There we go.